Behind me is our most recent SEMA build and our biggest giveaway to date, a 2017 Ford F350. In terms of suspension, this truck is running a Kelderman 10-inch to 12-inch adjustable air ride kit. Now there's a ton of information about Kelderman out there and a ton of opinions, but mostly what the people want to know is, are they worth it? It's kind of big. All right guys, so like we said, this is our newest SEMA build. It's confirmed, it's gonna be in the TIS booth at SEMA, and more importantly, we just announced that we are giving this thing away. So it's as simple as every other giveaway. Buy a t-shirt, get entered to win, and you could win a full SEMA build. It's a 2017 Ford F350 Super Duty. It's got a 10 to 12 inch adjustable Kelderman air ride lift kit, 2616 TIS 1-of-1 forged wheels, and they're painted. It's on a set of 42 15.5 needle trail grapplers. It's a whole build. There's headlights, taillights, bumpers, light. I mean, it's all complete SEMA build, ready to roll. Plus, with every t-shirt you guys pick up, you're also helping us make a donation to the Warrior Built Foundation, which is a super cool charity. They help out veterans through things like recreational therapy. So things like motorcycle building and going to drag events and going to concerts and stuff like that, and really just help other veterans connect with each other and realize that they're not in this alone. Super cool, guys. We had them here a couple weeks ago, but again, you can get entered to win this truck right here, the one we're driving in right now, at customoffsets.com/giveaway. So just wanted to touch on that a little bit before we get into the actual video. So let's talk a little bit about Kelderman by themselves. Who is Kelderman Manufacturing? Where are they based out of, and what exactly do they do? So Kelderman Manufacturing was founded by CEO and president of the company, Gary Kelderman, right? Founded in 1970 in a little town in Ohio, Gary Kelderman was, by all essences, a fabricator and an engineer. Gary actually opened a shop helping out local farmers fix equipment and manufacture parts and such like that. So he opened his shop initially around agricultural equipment, which is something that I find super cool because obviously growing up in the farm world, as you guys know, right, growing up on a small dairy farm and graduating college for farming and all that good stuff, it hits super close to home. So for me, Kelderman has always been about downed corn reels, hay equipment, and stuff like that, right? Just random one-off farm equipment that you couldn't get anywhere else. Now, this stayed true for about 20 years until 1990, when Gary Kelderman thought he'd treat himself and drive down to the local Dodge dealer and buy himself a brand new Cummins. Things are all great, right? Gets down there, picks his truck up, drives it back home, and absolutely hates the drive. So much so, in fact, that he parked his truck for like 3 months until he could build an air suspension system for it, otherwise known as the Kelderman two-stage rear suspension. Now, this is a product that's still in production to this date, which is pretty cool. But let's just take a moment and appreciate how wild it is that Gary Kelderman literally bought a brand new truck and then parked it because he hated how badly it rode until he could build a solution that fixed it. So over the next couple years, Kelderman would continue to innovate and develop products for trucks and vehicle-specific applications, but it really didn't take off until his son Jeff joined the company in the early 2000s. So Jeff, being an avid automotive enthusiast and Harley enthusiast, built a massive 2003 Dodge Ram Mega Cab long box on a 8 to 10 inch adjustable lift kit. Cool, everything was good, but much like the rest of us, he couldn't leave it alone. So the next year in 2004, he built a Super Duty on a 10 to 12 inch adjustable lift kit, just like this one right here. And the kicker is with that truck, he actually developed a hydraulic lifting bed, so that way he could drop the bed on the ground and load his Harley into the back of his truck. So again, at their core fundamentals, Kelderman is truly for enthusiasts, by enthusiasts. Super cool company. They've been in business for a long time, and they make some really solid products. Today, we're actually testing their 10-inch to 12-inch adjustable 4-link kit for the 2017 Super Duty that we're in right here. So we put this kit in. This is the first Kelderman kit we've put in the giveaway truck here, of course, which you guys can win. customoffsets.com/giveaway. Pretty cool stuff there. But we put this kit in. It's the first Kelderman air ride kit that we've ever put in. And honestly, I'm super impressed. Like, I was a little bit worried about going to air because the airbags are literally just sitting between spring perches. It's your whole suspension. There's no springs, there's no coilovers, there's no torsion bars. It's just airbags. And I was worried that it would get really, really tippy, but like right now we're even in a roundabout and you can tell the truck kind of shifts around on the bags a little bit, but it's never out of control. It's always very well in control. You never feel like you're gonna tip the truck over. And honestly, it handles really well for what it is. Now, one thing that I do think is really important to note when you look at a Kelderman kit is that if you go on the website and you price them, you're gonna see a couple of different kits, and that's because Kelderman doesn't offer a standalone package for these trucks, right? You have to buy the front lift, the rear lift, the management, and the shocks all separately, and they do that for a reason. It's because not everyone wants to go full air ride all the way around like we did on this truck. In a lot of cases, guys will go a standard lift kit up front, and then they'll put an air ride kit in the back, and that allows them to have the adjustability on the rear end, but also allows you to have a simplified front design on your lift kit that you may want. And then of course, on top of that, management has to go with that as well. For this one, we're running airlift management, so compressor, tanks, and then of course the actual valve bodies and stuff that allow you to adjust it up and down. So kind of a unique thing there if you're looking at a Kelderman kit, something that you should be aware of when it comes time to pricing them. A question we get asked a lot of the times is why an air ride suspension kit? And honestly, air is cool for a lot of different reasons, but probably the most prevalent one to me is that it's super comfortable to drive. Like, we're mobbing down the highway here right now at a solid 60 miles an hour, and this thing just feels good. It doesn't feel bumpy, it's not rough. You know, some of the coil sprung front end trucks with the solid axles can get really aggressive, and this one is just not that at all. It drives really, really well. So air ride gives you that adjustability. And then again, the cool thing about this truck is it's on a 10 to 12 inch lift kit, but you could still throw a trailer behind this thing, inflate the rear bags to a higher pressure, and you could tow with this thing, which is absolutely incredible to me. It's like the ultimate setup for both form and function. It's really, really cool. Now, with that being said, one of the cons about an air ride lift kit is you are on air ride and you don't have anything else but air ride, right? So that means that, you know, should you have a bag leak, should you blow a line, anything like that, you are gonna be dependent on that, much like the guys that install air ride on their cars do, right? You can only drive it so far. You always have that little bit of the back of the brain knowledge that says, hey man, if something happens, how am I gonna fix this? So that's really the only downfall to air ride, is that you are limited to that system. And if something were to happen, it is a little bit more detrimental than, say, if you were to break a coil spring, which you can still drive on, you know, so that's just something important to note there. Another con to this is that you are, if you're in a northern environment like we are here in Wisconsin, you are gonna wanna drain that air tank pretty regularly so that if it gets cold, you don't have any freezing in the lines, which can really tear some stuff up. Now again, on the lines of winter and cold, right, you can run antifreeze in the line and it does help. However, air naturally contains water, which means that you are going to have some condensation in that line, just like the old air compressor in the shop, right? When you pull the petcock out of the bottom and it spits that old rusty water, you don't want that in your airbags and in your air lines in your truck. So draining that tank regularly is one of those cons, I guess, right? One of those maintenance points that you are going to want to pay attention to if you go air ride in your pickup here. So overall though, I gotta say I'm super, super impressed by this thing. It rides really well. It's massive. It's 3 to 4 inches bigger than our Super Duty was, the K350, and it doesn't ride terribly. It's a little bit bigger, right? And you do get a little bit more body roll with the old airbags in there, but nothing that I would be really afraid of. And honestly, I can say with confidence that I'm very impressed by this lift kit, and I would definitely consider one if this is something that I wanted to build, something of this size, especially because, as you guys know me, you know that I love to tow stuff around. I've always got a trailer hooked to my truck. So this gives you that perfect combination of, again, form and function. You can have a massive lifted show truck and still tow a bunch of stuff. So it's super cool. But that's enough out of me. Let me know what you guys think of the Kelderman lift kit and the giveaway truck as a whole down in the comment section below. And if you haven't yet, make sure you share this video with a buddy who may want to win the truck as well. With that, I'm Dustin with Custom Offsets. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.